We are Ames. In the age of data-driven decisions and hyper-personalization, diversity has become a critical element to sustain and increase profitability. We represent some of the top brands in advertising, entertainment, media, and sports. Our mission is to promote the economic growth and development of diverse-owned and operated businesses within these industries. We support minority-owned businesses throughout the country and believe that minority ownership certification builds bridges to opportunities for these businesses. We believe that people come first, and with people comes diversity of thought and the key to innovation and growth. We are Ames.
We know that the future of creativity is infused with diversity.
We create experiences and defy expectations.
We know that the right team wins.
We certify, develop, promote, and advocate for minority businesses.
It's through the power of the network and connectors that Ames was born, and through the quality of individuals in our industry group that allows us to continue to drive change and create opportunities. We are here to communicate, captivate, and connect. We are NMSDC.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, round of applause. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Vanessa Luca. I am editor-in-chief of Essence Magazine, and I am delighted that the NMSDC invited me to be here with you in Detroit today, in the middle of this very busy day. So take a deep breath, relax for a minute, and turn your attention now to what I think you'll find is a luncheon that will nourish you in very many ways. Let me start with a big thank you to our co-sponsors of today's luncheon and Fireside Chat. Altria, BP, yes, you can clap. BP America, Ongweawe Corporation, United Parcel Service, and Walmart. And thank you also to our corporate co-chairs, Fiat Chrysler Automobiles, Ford Motor Company, General Motors, and Toyota, and our MBE co-chairs, Acro Service Corporation, AMCUS, and Kaiba. Now, I'm sure you've all had a very full and profitable morning at the Business Opportunity Exchange. What an amazing event. And the conference really is just beginning. Just before the exchange opened, we started this morning with a power breakfast that really lived up to its name. And we have a very exciting program just ahead. So now I'd like to introduce to you, to bring Stephanie Burnley, who is co-CEO of Devon Industrial Group, up now to do a very important introduction. Stephanie?
Good afternoon, distinguished guests, friends, and family. I am honored to stand here today on behalf of many business owners, large and small, to welcome the 39th Secretary of Department of Commerce, Wilbur Ross, to the Motor City. You could have been in any place in the world today, but you chose the birthplace of the automotive industry, an industry that has been a leader in diversity. As a co-CEO of Devon Industrial Group, or as my dad calls it, CEO in training, we are a minority business enterprise headquartered here in Detroit, a city rich with diverse cultures and minority businesses. We Detroiters are proud of two historical MBEs, the National Business League, founded in 1900 by Booker T. Washington, who also advised many presidents to believe that blacks and minorities can improve our communities by creating legacy wealth by owning our own businesses. And Motown, founded in 1959 by Berry Gordy. Wilbur L. Ross Jr. was sworn in by Vice President Mike Pence as 39th Secretary of Commerce on February 28, 2017. Secretary Ross will be the principal voice of business in the Trump administration, ensuring U.S. entrepreneurs and businesses have the tools they need to create jobs and economic opportunity. Secretary Ross is the former chairman and chief strategy officer of W.L. Ross & Company, LLC, and he has over 55 years of investment banking, private equity experience, and he has restructured over $400 billion of assets. Named by Bloomberg Markets as one of the 50 most influential people in global finance, Mr. Ross is the only person elected to both the Private Equity Hall of Fame and the Turnaround Management Hall of Fame. Secretary Ross is a graduate of Yale University and of Harvard Business School with distinction. He and his wife, Hillary Gary Ross, have 4 children, Jessica, Amanda, Ted, and Jack. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Secretary Wilbur Ross, the 39th Secretary of Department of Commerce.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Stephanie, for that kind introduction. Thank you also to the team at MBDA, National Minority Supplier Development Interim President Louis Green, the Board of Directors, committee members, and honored guests for joining us this afternoon. Today, I join you in celebration of the 2017 National Minority Enterprise Development Week here in the great city of Detroit. Detroit has long been recognized as the historic heart of the American automotive industry, and the resurgence of Motor City is a perfect example of the resiliency and entrepreneurial spirit that has shaped America for generations. And the state of Michigan led the Great Lakes region in job creation last year. Job creation is one of the top priorities of this administration. President Trump plans to create 25 million new American jobs over the next 10 years and return us to 3% or greater annual economic growth. Both Detroit and minority business enterprises are playing key roles in this bold endeavor. Nationwide, there were 996,246 minority-owned firms with paid employees last year, up 4.9% from the prior year. And minority-owned businesses produce $1.1 trillion of annual revenue. Thank you. While MBEs employ 8 million people, only 22% have 10 or more employees, so there's plenty of room to grow. And we know that minority entrepreneurs are up to the task. Here at the National MED Week Awards, we celebrate and recognize the outstanding achievements of minority entrepreneurs. The winners embody American businesses' unmatched spirit of determination, courage, and excellence. The Commerce Department is proud to recognize your achievements. I commend you not only for your professional excellence, but also for your tireless efforts to strengthen your communities, cities, and networks. This administration is committed to empowering U.S. minority business enterprises. Thank you. Thank you. We are doing this by creating a business climate that supports and encourages MBE success long term. We are also trying to help you expand your exports. At present, less than 3% of all American businesses export anything. But minority businesses have a competitive advantage in global trade based on cultural ties, language skills, and agility. I hope you will capitalize on this by working with the Commerce Department's Foreign Commercial Service, which has 108 offices across the country, including here in Detroit. These offices and their counterparts in embassies around the world will help you understand how to export and can even connect you with customers, and they don't charge fees. Domestically, MBDA and other federal agencies are working together to leverage these resources and help create a new generation of minority-owned firms. The goal is to generate more jobs and grow the economy through targeted programs and services. In fiscal year 2016, MBDA secured $3.3 billion of contracts and financial investment in minority-owned firms. This created nearly 8,000 new jobs. The agency's preliminary results indicate it will surpass these figures for fiscal year 2017. But we all can do more, and we will. I had a great listening session with a number of minority entrepreneurs this morning. They had some good suggestions about additional help government could provide. By supporting the President as he reforms our tax code, cuts red tape, and rebuilds our crumbling infrastructure, we also are supporting our entrepreneurs. When combined with the immediate deduction of capital expenditures, the new corporate tax structure will strongly stimulate investment and growth. This will be especially true for small businesses because LLCs and other pass-through structures will be taxed at only 25%, not the present higher personal tax rate. This combination of measures will enhance the rate of return on corporate expansion and in turn create new jobs and opportunities. Therefore, domestic capital expenditure will boom, and that boom will have a big impact on our lagging productivity. A Congressional Budget Office study found that workers bear 70% of corporate taxes and capital 30%. President Trump's Council of Economic Advisors chairman summarized this by concluding that workers' wages fall by 0.3% per 1% increase in corporate tax rates. This is confirmed by the fact that from 2012 to 2016, the average wage growth in the 10 lowest tax countries was 2 percentage points per year faster than wage growth in the 10 highest tax countries. A big part of the reason is that the percentage of overseas corporations that is reinvested overseas has risen from less than 40% in 1990 to about 70% in 2016. So it's clear that the president's plan will create more good-paying jobs in communities like Detroit. But Michigan is a state that already knows a thing or two about creating the right conditions for private sector growth. Michigan's business climate has improved dramatically under Governor Snyder, going from 40th to a top 10 state for business. Michigan has gone from ranking 48th to 8th in terms of corporate tax rating among the states. These results speak for themselves. Since 2011, Michigan has become a leader in job creation and is now ranked #1 for creating new manufacturing jobs. But this isn't just about business. The president's tax reforms will also directly benefit middle-class families. They will see 3 major benefits. The first is tax relief. The second is simplifying the tax code. The plan will make tax filing simple and easy to understand. Most Americans will be able to file their taxes on a single page without extra forms. And thirdly, putting American businesses on a more level tax playing field with foreign competition will lead to more jobs. It is time for the American dream to be restored for everyone. It is time for us to remove the many unjust obstacles that hinder fair and equal economic opportunity for U.S. businesses. Cutting taxes for all businesses will boost investment, jumpstart job creation, and increase wages. The goal is to support entrepreneurs, especially minority entrepreneurs, like our 2017 National MED Week Award winners. Many of them have remarkable stories, and I will share a couple with you. In 2006, Stephanie Hickman left a 25-year career as a labor attorney and utility executive to acquire the Trice Construction Company from her uncles. Since then, the Chicago-based company has embarked upon a growth trajectory that transformed it from a small residential contractor to an award-winning utility infrastructure and concrete contracting firm. Another example, after graduating from Purdue University, Roland Parrish began a 13-year career at Exxon before becoming an entrepreneur. After being first rejected at a McDonald's franchisee, he persisted and bought his first store in 1989 with 43 employees and sales of about $500,000. Today, the company operates 23 restaurants, more than 1,000 employees, and sales of $63 million. Yet another star is Carlos Rivera, founder, chairman, and president of East Nova Partners. Since 2012, Visnova Partners has teamed with federal agencies to develop and implement global public health initiatives. Visnova is on the front lines of infectious disease research against dengue, malaria, and Zika. Their rate of job creation is phenomenal, having grown from under 20 employees in 2014 to 150 today. The President's tax plan will put more money in every working family's pocket, bring back cash that is trapped overseas, and help convince both American and foreign businesses to invest here in the U.S. Together, we will create an environment where more minority businesses can grow and thrive. With that, I congratulate MBDA and NMSDC for the successful launch of the 2017 National MED Week and the NMSDC Conference and Business Opportunity Exchange. I also extend another special congratulations to all of this year's MED Week award winners. Thank you for your attention and enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Let's please take a moment to meet one of our conference co-chairs, Toyota.
Poetry in your body, you got it in everywhere. And can't you see it's true? I'm watching, I am hot for you in everywhere. And turn around, let me see you. Wanna free you with my rhythm.
Machines don't have emotions, but the rare few can inspire them.
Your body's poetry, speak to me. You want to let me be your rhythm tonight. Move your body, move your body. I wanna be your muse, use my music to let me be your rhythm tonight. Move your body, move your body.
The first ever Lexus LC. Experience amazing.
So thank you, Vanessa, and good afternoon. I don't know about you, but just watching that commercial makes my back hurt. How can one move like that? It's truly amazing. You know, I can honestly say that car moves like the dancer. I had the opportunity to drive a prototype version of the LC 500 earlier this year, and it was the most fun I've ever had behind the wheel. The car is exciting to drive, as the commercial represents. Now, as Vanessa mentioned, I'm Bob Young of Toyota Purchasing, and I'm honored to welcome you to the Motor City for this year's NMSDC conference. Thank you for taking the time to participate and engage in our pursuit of a common goal, to strengthen economic growth through diversity. I hope you found this morning's events beneficial and the first half of the trade show productive. I was there all morning. There was a lot of electricity in the air, so I think we're making good progress. I want all of you to remember that, of course, we still have the remainder of the trade show this afternoon, plus all of the events planned for Tuesday and Wednesday for all of you to reinforce old partnerships and uncover new business opportunities. Now, today I'd like to recognize and honor NMSDC's 45th anniversary. 45 years of great work educating the corporate community on the merits of inclusive sourcing practices and the benefits minority partners can bring to every organization. Now, at Toyota, we've experienced NMSDC's contributions firsthand. Over 30 years ago, we began production in North America. And as you can imagine, Toyota, coming from a country not known for diversity, was not well versed in D&I and most definitely supplier diversity. Thankfully, a few things we do excel at are benchmarking and Genchi Genbutsu, go and see. So through this, we recognized the early work or the good work that the Detroit 3 were doing in the area of supplier diversity, and we realized that we must participate to be competitive. Now, I'm sorry to say, but some of us on the Toyota side looked at this as a risk mitigation activity and looked at it as the right thing to do at that time. So as we got started, we leaned on and learned from NMSDC and its regional affiliates. We learned the business and procurement best practices and were introduced to highly skilled MBEs that could add value to our supply base. Over time, with our open door policy and our commitment to supplier development, we introduced diverse suppliers to our supply base. Initially, growth was primarily on the indirect side of our business, but eventually this led to direct business opportunities, the production of car parts, as well as extending expectations to our Tier 1 suppliers to improve the diversity of their supply base. No longer was it the right thing to do, it was an initiative to add value to our supply base and to leverage the capabilities of diverse business partners. Now, as we've grown in North America, business opportunities have grown with us. And today I'm proud to say that we spend directly over $3 billion a year with our diverse partners, approximately 10% of our spend. Now, if that is not economic growth, I don't know what is. But of course, we're not finished. We truly believe in continuous improvement. So where we are right now is, quite frankly, it's the floor. We're going to continue to improve year over year as we make progress developing diverse partners. Now, I can't say enough about the contributions of our diverse supply base. Without our long-term partners, we could not build a single vehicle. We also couldn't meet our customers' expectations without the strong collaboration, operational performance, and innovation of our supplier partners. So we're greatly indebted to everything they do for us. Now, from my perspective, really keys to our progress to date are three. First, embedding supplier diversity as a key pillar of our D&I corporate initiative, with clear KPIs for purchasing, business units, and functional departments. This approach allows us to focus equally on internal and partner diversity and talent to meet future challenges. Second, continued collaboration with advocacy organizations such as NMSDC and its regional affiliates. Being in Michigan, we work closely with MMSDC, who's doing great work focused on the pillars of certification, development, connectivity, and advocacy. Thanks to Louis for your previous stewardship of MMSDC, and to Michelle Sori Robinson, our president, for the great work that she and her team are doing here in Michigan. And I also want to thank all the corporate partners here in Michigan, the corporate members. As Steve Kiefer and Sig Huber mentioned this morning, this is a space where we collaborate. We compete fiercely every day for the next customer and to develop unbelievable next generation vehicles. But in this space, we work together and we greatly appreciate all the support we get from our counterparts in the industry. And finally, third, we are focused on our process and resource allocation. Process focus because Kaizen is essential to drive results, and resource allocation because, like everything in life, you get out of it what you put in. So that's really our journey to date, a journey that would not have been possible without NMSDC and the great support from NMSDC and their regional affiliates. Now, thank you to NMSDC for all you do to promote and develop MBEs and to educate corporate minds. Now, in closing, I encourage all the corporate members in attendance to reflect on your processes, your resource commitment, and the level of collaboration that supports your supplier diversity initiatives. NMSDC, its affiliates, and all the corporate members are great resources to help you improve your overall initiatives. To the diverse businesses in attendance, please keep up the great support of your corporate partners. By focusing on continuous improvement, you will bring more value to your partnerships, opening the door to future growth. And also, please take full advantage, of course, of the opportunity provided today and this week by NMSDC to make new connections. These very connections may result in significant opportunity either today or tomorrow or over the next 5 years, when you least expect it. So make the most of your time here this week, and please go home tired. I hope you have a great conference.
As a Native American entrepreneur, I am excited to celebrate the 45th anniversary of the National Minority Supplier Development Council. NMSDC has done amazing things in terms of networking and helping me create opportunities and market our brand. In 1984, it was just me and friends and family. And now today, we're over 3,000 team members, wonderful people, in 20 locations servicing the United States and Canada, some of the top global brands. Thank you, NMSDC.
Rush Group has contributed to not only the ecosystem here within the state of Michigan, but they've also made an impact throughout the country. In doing so, she has literally galvanized an entire community in the city of Detroit. She's created thousands of jobs.
I'm so proud to work and be a part of a minority business enterprise because it gives me the ability to feel like I belong to something. Working for a family that strives to make sure that the community is first.
They allow me opportunities that I had not had at previous employers. It impacts this community because it allows for different minorities to be able to have a chance at good jobs, better jobs.
Minority-owned businesses that aren't certified, please get certified. I can tell you, you can create opportunity for so many people in so many ways. I'm proud to be NMSDC.
All right. Now it is my honor to introduce our next conference co-chair, Ford Motor Company. Speaking for Ford today is its President of Global Operations, Joe Hinrichs. Joe is also chairman of NMSDC's Board of Directors, and he has a few words about NMSDC and its future.
I grew up loving the outdoors, really fascinated by nature. The places in the wild that I loved were starting to get paved over. It really struck a chord with me. The implications of climate change are pretty profound. Climate change and all the things that go with it are really human rights issues. The cost of believing it's not real is just too high. If we continue to be part of the problem rather than part of the solution, what kind of example are we setting for our children, our grandchildren? Are we doing things the right way? Are we buying from people that do things the right way? And if they're not, we need to help them change. When we started the sustainability report, and I think everybody thought I was crazy, Bill has finally lost his mind because he's published a report criticizing Ford. But it was important to own up to what we were doing well and what we were not doing well. We had the largest brownfield manufacturing site in the world. And now here at the Rouge, we've set very tough water usage targets for ourselves. We have a goal of using no drinking water in any of our production processes. My great-grandfather, back in his day, there was no term called environmentalist, but he had a goal of zero waste to landfill. Just as we do today, he just felt that nothing should be wasted, and those values haven't changed. For 8 years in a row, we've been named one of the world's most ethical companies. It starts with how we treat each other, and then how do we treat the communities in which we operate, and then ultimately, how do we treat the greater world? core, mobility is a human rights issue. We have the opportunity to create a future here that will be clean, enable people to move freely around the world, and it'll be fun. We've had a series of evolutions in our industry. I believe we're at the threshold now of a series of revolutions, which will greatly alter what this company will look like in 10 years. We've come a long, long way, and we've got a long way to go. We believe that we have an obligation to leave this world better than we found it. We're just going to continue to march towards this goal.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for all of your support of NMSDC. I'm honored to be here representing both Ford Motor Company and NMSDC. Ford is proud to be a co-chair and major sponsor for this year's conference. And as you heard right there from Bill Ford, our executive chairman, we see our role in society greater than just making profits and being a part of an organization that delivers great vehicles, but also being part of the solution. That includes, of course, the subject we're here to talk about today. We do welcome you here to Detroit and hope you're enjoying your time here today so far. And we hope you're enjoying the conference so far. Everybody all right? As you saw in our video, our purpose as a company is to make people's lives better, delivering smart vehicles in a smart world. To do that, we know we need to have a sustainable and diverse supply chain at Ford, and we take this imperative very seriously. We believe in economic empowerment and equality, and we work hard to live this every day. Ford has been a long-term supporter of NMSDC. Our own supplier diversity program is about to turn 40 years old, and we have been working with NMSDC since our program's inception in 1978. When it comes to working with minority business enterprises, or as you well know them as MBEs, 2016 was our most successful year yet. We spent $8.78 billion with NMSDC certified MBEs. You want even better news? We are not stopping there. In fact, our team is working hard to continue this trend and find even more MBEs in the years to come, including right here at this conference. For us, with some of our new and exciting products that we are bringing to market the next 5 years, bringing back names like Ranger and Bronco, and our new mobility services, we know that together we can build a bright future and play to win in a very smart world. Now, I truly enjoy speaking with our NMSDC members, supporters, and advocates like all of you in this room. But my pride and enjoyment has never been greater than it has been this year. And that's not just because we have the conference right here in our hometown in Detroit. 2017 has been a transition year for NMSDC, and we are confident that there is a renewed commitment, purpose, and clear business sense that we are moving forward with, both as a board of directors and as a national network. As you heard from Louis this morning, NMSDC is in a strong financial position for a positive future. This conference is evidence of that. It is already the most successful in MSDC history, with best ever enrollment of new members, unprecedented corporate membership and sponsorship, and record attendance. Thank you all for your support for that. Now, very early into next year, a new president will take the helm of NMSDC. We will hand off to her or him an organization that is thriving and growing, not just on the national level, but at all the regional councils as well. The councils have literally weathered the storm this year. Just in the last few weeks, for instance, they've been on the front lines, coping with members whose businesses have been damaged, even devastated by the hurricanes in the Houston area, throughout the state of Florida, or of course the entire island of Puerto Rico. Your thoughts and prayers are always welcome, but it's action and commitment that change things. For 45 years, that's what NMSDC has been all about. Action on behalf of MBEs. And ladies and gentlemen, we're just getting started for the next 45 years. Thank you very much. Now I'd like to invite Vanessa and Louis up here. We're going to do a little fireside chat, have a little conversation on what's going on at NMSDC. Come on up here, Vanessa and Louis. Thank you. You want to sit here?
Yeah.
Louis, come on up.
All right.
Oh, we have water.
Well, welcome, gentlemen. Let's talk about a topic that I know you're very passionate about, which is supplier diversity. So Joe, we'll start with you. How has your perspective on supplier diversity changed since becoming chairman of the board of the NMSDC?
Well, I think the first perspective that I may add that has changed is actually an appreciation for all of you. Running the operations of Ford Motor Company keeps me pretty busy every day, but what I've learned in working with many of you in this room is just how committed and passionate everybody is here on the subject of supplier diversity and, importantly, MBE growth. And what I've learned a lot is that this community, which is well connected, can be a part of the solution. And we can work together, even better than we ever have before, to make progress. And I have a greater appreciation for the value that our MBEs bring to society and to our economic impact, and the jobs they create in the society, and also importantly, the progress we can make by working together. So that's been some of the reflections, and I'm just really proud to be a part of the organization.
Wonderful, wonderful. This question is for both of you. I mean, what could and should corporations be doing to further embrace the idea of supplier diversity?
Yes, sir. You go for it. Okay. Well, I think you've already heard from a number of the sponsors today in the auto industry and, of course, other suppliers as well. One of the true contributors to success is to have an actual initiative around supplier diversity and actually have some measurables and make it a part of people's accountability to deliver. It can't just be an initiative somebody's trying to do to feel good. It has to be about contributing and making progress. So we measure our success. I mentioned nearly $9 billion of spending last year. We measure it, so you need to measure it. You need to have resources dedicated to it, and you have to take a spirit of partnership. It's not a charity. It's a partnership in helping economic growth happen with minority businesses. And so having an organizational, at the highest level, supporting that, and then having resources to go out and make it happen, and then measuring it, are all pretty important parts of success.
Yeah, I think those are good points, Joe, but in addition, one thing I would add, corporations have to be willing to challenge themselves. We're in a time where blockchain, machine learning, AI, these things that are going to fundamentally change the economy are facing all of us, and minority businesses are probably the key to your solutions, right? It's not going to be traditional things that are going to get you where you need to go, and you have to be willing to not kind of put minority businesses in a box where you feel comfortable, where you might feel comfortable with them with staffing, or you might feel comfortable with them in facilities management. Be comfortable with them in professional services and technology and things that are going to really help drive your business. So get out of your comfort zone. That's what's needed both for making supplier diversity grow and the companies grow.
Oh, I think that's a perfect segue to the next question, which is, Joe, what advice would you give to, or do you have for MBEs that want to increase their opportunities with corporations like Ford? What advice would you share?
Well, we have Hao Tai Tang and Bert Jordan here from our purchasing organization, and walking around the booths this morning, we have lots of people come up and want to talk to us, so I'm glad everybody's interested in being a part of our supply chain. I think the advice I have is simple, and that is look where industry is going, look where technology is going, and be anticipating where those new ventures are. This morning someone mentioned about being precise and succinct about your value proposition, because we're a big business, and so we have to be able to focus on what we want to do. And so when you can make that value proposition succinctly and talk to us about what you're able to do, it's very helpful. But I think the other thing is just what Louis said, which is be open-minded to how the relationship can evolve. we'll find a solution that works for all of us, and we can nurture that relationship and grow it over time. I think those are some of the suggestions I would make.
You know, there's some big changes that came to NMSDC in the past year. So, you know, what kind of opportunities do you think that this turning point offers the organization, you know, both on the regional and on the national levels?
Well, the first thing I want to say on behalf of the board of directors is thank all of you for your support. While NMSDC is going through some leadership changes, the commitment we have to MBEs and our corporate partners has never been greater. I want to thank all of you for that support. I also want to thank Louis for coming in to be our interim president during this time. He's doing a great job for us, a testament to to what's going on in the conference. So thank you, Louis. Change brings a little bit of anxiety, admittedly, but it also brings opportunity. And so one of the great opportunities we have now is to get all of our collective energies at the affiliate level, at the national office level, with the board of directors, all of us working together for one single purpose. That is to help make minority business enterprises successful and more successful. And all of our energy and resources need to go towards that activity. So on that behalf, the opportunity we have is for us to be one collective NMSDC organization around the country and work together to deliver that. And to do so in a way that you see great teamwork. Because with great teamwork comes great trust. With great trust comes great commitment. With great commitment comes results. So I want to thank everybody who's here for helping us get through this year. It's a year of transition. It's our first year in 5 years. We're going to be financially sound in the black as an organization. That's our commitment to you as a business. We can't run our business any different than how you run your business. And our business is to serve. We are a service organization. If we're not serving a corporate partner or an MBE or an affiliate the right way, let us know, because that's what we're here for. So please keep supporting us. We're going to have a great year next year and beyond, and we're going to do it by working together. Thank you.
Yeah.
I saw you nodding your head, Louis. So.
Yeah, good points, Joe. And it's that teamwork, right? Teamwork makes the dream work. We know that philosophy is important. And for NMSDC, it's been a time of reflection, right? Time for us to, you get comfortable after 45 years, and and sometimes we don't see some minor flaws or some things, major flaws or ways that we could do things better. So it's been a time for us to take a hard look at ourselves and say, how can we be a better partner, right? To make sure we're true in the spirit of partnership with other organizations, with corporations, with MBEs. And how do we make sure everyone feels equally valued? Some MBEs felt like they were second-class citizens, but everyone's valued, to make sure we reinforce a culture of service, of accountability, and really, a clear value proposition for everyone, whether you're corporate, MBE, or a council, and to listen, and not just listen, but make sure we turn what we hear into actionable things. And the board is very supportive of that. The staff has rallied around that. I mean, the results you have seen have been driven from that kind of culture. And, I think we'll see more of that and really great things to come when permanent leadership comes on the council.
Wonderful. I think we have time for just one more question, and that is, what do each one of you hope is the big takeaway from this week's conference? What do you hope people leave here with? And we can start with you, Joe.
Well, I hope everyone leaves this conference with a lot more friendships and relationships, but also with a renewed sense of purpose that, some of the challenges we have in our society, we can help be part of the solution by helping create more economic growth and development for minority businesses and minority communities, and that needs to be our commitment together. Thank you.
Yeah. I'd say a couple things. For those of you who have not visited the Tech Hub out there, take a look. We really need to make sure that MBEs are part of this next software resolution that's going to drive everything from vehicles to appliances to everything, right? We need to learn that. And I hope everyone takes that away, first of all, to understand the relevancy there. And then secondly, a spirit of cooperation, right? There have been, like any kind of family, sometimes you have squabbles, but you love each other and come together. We have a committed team, whether it's at the national office, local council, corporate members, MBE, then when we are one NMSDC, we can do anything. We can change the world. We can make it stronger. We can see growth that comes from engaging minority business. And I want that spirit to permeate everyone as we go into Austin in 2018.
Wow, that's amazing. I think that's just a wonderful way to end this conversation. You know, we learn so much when we share our experiences and exchange ideas. So thank you to you, Joe, and thank you, Louis, for your time today. And let's have another big round, huge round of applause for them for their time today. Now, before we let you get back to the business exchange, please remember to share your experiences with NMSDC in social media. Post and tweet what you see and learn, and post about the connections that you're making here today. I hope that you've mapped out your plan for the next couple of days between the workshops and the seminars, which are extraordinary. And please make sure that you have your tickets for tonight's reception, which is going to be very exciting. Let's give a big thanks one more time for today's Luncheon co-sponsors, Altria, BP America, Ongweaway Corporation, United Parcel Service, and Walmart. Thank you so much for having lunch with us today. It's been my pleasure to join you. Now get out there and connect.